We must invest in nature as the true engine for a new economy, a circular bioeconomy that gives back to nature as much as we take from her in order to restore urgently the balance we have so rashly disrupted.
His Majesty's Harmony philosophy, which underpins all the work of the King's Foundation, is about rebalancing the relationship between humans and nature. For decades, our economies have been linear. Take, make, waste. Our linear economy breaks the cycle of life, turning resources into waste.
If you look back to the last 250 years, what has happened is that we move from an open economic system that was powered ultimately by the sun, a reliable, constant source of energy, to a closed economic system powered by finite fossil resources that liberate a lot of energy in the form of greenhouse emissions. Those greenhouse emissions are sealing the atmosphere and therefore are creating a rather closed planetary system. For every degree that our climate gets warmer, the atmosphere contains 7% more water, more moisture. This means that when it rains much more. This is why there are more floods. But it also means that in the dry moments, the atmosphere sucks 7% more water from the land. And this is why wildfires are becoming more intense. This is why droughts are becoming more persistent. To reverse this situation is to go back to an open system, to rely entirely on the energy of the sun. To do that, the only way we have at the scale is to understand, value, and invest in nature as what it is, the true engine of our economy. In nature, everything is interdependent and interconnected. Nature is designed without waste. The output of every process becomes the input of the next process.
Our economies struggle to recognise the true value of nature because trees, birds, and insects don't send us bills for the work they do. We need to change how we look at them. If we could actually see that trees are worth more alive than dead, as His Majesty has long said, we might learn to value and protect the ones we've still got.
Forest made the planet habitable for us because before trees emerged in the planet and forest expanded, the climate was radically different. In fact, it was 10 degrees warmer than it is today, and the CO2 levels in the atmosphere were almost 10 times what they are today. So it was not a habitable planet for mammals or a human species like us. But then with the expansion of forests, the miracle happened. Forests operate following ecologies of scale. What trees does is to use solar energy to transform water and CO2 into renewable biochemical energy that can be used by many other organisms. So basically you could say that trees are more than a solar panel, more than a battery, because they store this renewable energy here, and they are more than a pump because they recirculate water in the atmosphere. In fact, more than 50% of the rainfall in this part of the world comes directly from the trees. This is why I like to say that this is the planet of the trees and not the planet of the apes. I think that the circular bioeconomy is a nature-first economy. So it's about learning about the principles that these ecosystems follow to get the inspiration to recreate that in our economy. There is a way to build resilience in supply chains because you eliminate waste, but you optimize the use of materials and products, longer use, but you reuse, you repair, you recycle. And you are more self-autonomous in your supply chains.
At the King's Foundation, one of the ways we've been putting this idea into practice is through our sustainable textiles programmes. Textiles are one of the largest contributors to global carbon emissions. So we asked, could fashion work in harmony with nature? Across our centres at Dumfries House and Highgrove, students are learning to reuse, repair and recycle, to design with materials that last, and to make use of what already exists. We are training a new generation to produce beautiful small batch collections using local and natural fibres. From cotton grown in biodiverse ecosystems that use less water to luxury garments made in our workshops with minimal waste. These projects show how technology and tradition can work together to create a truly regenerative economy.
The challenge is not related to the lack of finance, lack of technology. It's the extractive mindset that we have created in the last 200 years. And if we want to move from an extractive economy to a regenerative economy, we need to change our mindset. When you file to value nature, you start paying for the cost of its destruction. The future of the economy requires investing in nature-based solutions. It's not about conservation or philanthropy. It's about building a better performing economy.